Relics absolutely break Deepwoken. You have Idols of Young Shoal that can let you escape the Depths Trial, which is incredibly useful with the Vow of Thorns Echoes modifier, reroll your bell, Sinner's Ashes that let you corrupt your bell, and Moon's Eye Tomes that let you get infinite knowledge on any build. Not to mention the most powerful of all, Armorer's Needles that can allow you to craft perfect gear that gives you insane damage or hundreds of HP. So these are the current metas for farming all sorts of relics in Deepwoken. This video is going to make you absolutely rich, as I've included all of the best methods of farming them, from the easy ones to the harder ones, and even the final method in this video that gives you guaranteed Armorer's Needles. So if you find this video useful or want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe, and join the Discord if you need a PvE build to efficiently farm these methods. So let's go over the easiest ways to get relics in the game, difficulty wise. These are Ferryman and Primadon. Ferryman and Primadon are pretty equal. Primadon is better, but with the risk of getting ganked, whereas Ferryman is in an instance server, so there's no risk of getting ganked at all. These two drop low tier relics like Armorer's Needles and Idols of Young Shoal pretty frequently. However, while they are overall pretty easy to do and you can do them on any build, they are slower compared to our next few methods. The next one is Maestro. He drops Smith Alloys and Sinner's Ashes pretty frequently, but he has the upside of being absolutely insane for nodes, allowing you to farm hundreds of thousands per hour. Maestro is harder than the other two, but because of the amount of Smith's Alloys he gives you, he's actually one of the most valuable bosses to farm. You want to make sure you're picking up all the Smith's Alloys you get, because you'll find out why they're so powerful a little later. Now let's get on to the three big methods. The first one is a little bit of a wild card, and that is warmode servers. This is actually a PvP method to earn relics rather than a purely PvE one. The one downside to warmode servers is they are incredibly laggy, partially because they're Roblox servers. But if you do have a decent sized guild, you can basically dominate any server and get guaranteed relics at a pretty good rate. There isn't really a best build to run in war mode, so just look on YouTube for any war mode video and play whatever you like. However, while this method is more fun for PvE players, these next two methods do run the risk of you wiping, but are drastically faster. Starting off with none other than the Deluvian mechanism. This method is broken because you can farm the wave 50 chests. Now, while you can also get relics on wave 25, it is nowhere near as fast as doing the full dungeon. Since in a wave 50 chest, you can get anywhere from 1 to 4 relics on top of lots of enchant stones. If you want a build for the Deluvian, you can still make any of the 70 builds I showcased in my every Deluvian PvE video. However, if you want the absolute best of the best in terms of what is the most consistent or what can get you the best times, you'll either run the Tempest Tyrant V2, Sweeping Spectre V3, Deluvian Air V3, or Seraph Soul V1. Generally speaking, my builds focus on quality of life and defense, therefore consistency, while the Knowledgeable Sardines have a little less defense but far more offense. So if you're really good, they can get you better times. It's really up to you as to what you feel confident playing. Although I will also say there is a Seraph Soul V2 coming out soon, most likely, that does have more offense and defense. I do have a full Deluvian guide on my channel that goes into the specifics about what to do on a lot of the problem waves. So if you do plan to do this method, definitely check out that video, but I'm just going to cover the main thing that has changed since that, and that is what bell you should run. And well, the best option is a corrupted Sacred Field. This is because at its best, it can make you take 1/3 damage, or effectively tripling your effective HP. While counter does give you pretty good damage, the healing cap placed on it means that you do actually have to play pretty well to use it properly. However, with the sheer defense that Sacred Field gives you, you'll basically never die in the Deluvian, and your runs won't be slowed down at all. As said before, in the relic chests, you can get 1 to 4 relics, and these can be absolutely anything in the game, although Sinner's Ashes are pretty common here. And again, make sure you pick up Smith's Alloys, and I'll tell you why they're important in just a second. Because while the Deluvian is the best solo method, with a team, Hell Mode is actually a far better way to grind relics. This is because the way hell mode works, the more players you have, the more monsters will spawn. While doing it in a team of 4 can lead you to a 5 to 6 minute hell mode, having 5 or more players can get it as low as 4 minutes, which is crazy. But yes, the downside to hell mode is you do need to find said team. However, hundreds of hell modes have happened thanks to the PvE parties channel in my Discord. So if you need to find people to do hell mode with, that is a pretty reliable way. The thing that most people don't actually get immediately in hell mode is that what you have to be worried about isn't the monsters that spawn, but the gankers. Because in hell mode, there's only really 2 dangerous things, those being corrupt enforcers that are just incredibly tanky and parry all your attacks, and lightning squibbos because they can stun you and you basically have to have a guard break to kill them since they're immune to mantras. But back onto the topic of depths gankers, as they actually massively change how you have to play hell modes if you're after getting as many as possible. There is 2 main ways depending on what options are available to you. The first is to run absolutely any build you like, however either you or a teammate must have a legendary bell. This is because it allows you to essentially teleport to a secluded spot in the map where people normally wouldn't check, therefore it's a lot safer to do hell modes there. However, since not everyone has a legendary bell just at their disposal, the other way to get a lot of hell modes done safely is by using an incredibly mobile build. To do this, the best options are Dawnbreaker V1 or 1.1. The 1.1 version is a non-brick wall build with Jet Striker and more heavy weapon. It's more optimized if you're just looking out for doing hell modes, although the base V1 is better if you also want to do Deluvian. The added mobility of the 1.1 allows you to pretty much guaranteed outrun any depths gankers in the game, as I've even managed to outrun actual depths chasing builds by actual depths ganking players in a test we did. And remember, as I said before, the more people you can get into hell mode the better. So if you can get a party of 5 or 6, then you're going to be doing them incredibly efficiently. Plus, if you think about it, the more players you have, the lower risk you have of actually getting jumped, since it's very likely you'll be able to get away. For the 6, 5, or even 4 minutes that you spend doing a hell mode, you can get chests that look like these. They give you so many relics per hell mode, especially if you're doing them during 2x loot, which is important to note. You should be trying to grind relics during the weekend since it's twice as efficient. Now finally, I've been telling you to pick up Smith's alloys the entire video, so let's get into the final and newest way to earn relics in the game, the Ignition Union's Hollow Forge. So basically, if you start as the Ignition Union Origin, you'll get access to a forge in the room with the drill where you can convert alloys into armor needles or Smith's alloys. This is incredibly powerful, as 3 Smith's alloys, which are pretty common and you most likely don't need more than 9 of them at any given time, can convert into 1 armorer's needle. And an armorer's needle, as I said at the start of the video, is easily the most powerful type of relic in the game, since it can allow you to make your gear into god roll sets. So the method you want to do is to store any Smith's alloys that you get onto a bank slot, then withdraw them on a slot that's Ignition Union Origin, and convert them to an armorer's needle. This can give you insane profit with relics. But now you know all the meta ways to farm relics at this point in time in Deepwoken. If you grind out these methods, you can become incredibly rich. So if you found this video useful, make sure to like and subscribe, and join the Discord if you want some hell mode parties. Make sure to check out some of the videos on screen, as they are the showcases for some of the builds that I mentioned, or the full Deluvian guide if you're looking to get into that. Don't forget to subscribe because we're close to 100k, check out some more PvE content, and I'll see you guys next time.